In this video we're going to have a look at adjustment layers. Here we have a picture in Photoshop and we can add an adjustment layer on top of this one. So for example, I can choose an adjustment layer like the color balance layer, like this, and then I can change the picture to either be more red or more blue. And you can see how it has the effect of making it look warmer or colder. One of the things when you put different images together that becomes a problem is that they've got a slightly different color balance, and sorting out your color balance can help. Now you'll also notice that the background isn't really changing that much, but it changes a little bit. In this video we're going to have a look at adjustment layers in Photoshop. So we're in Photoshop and I've loaded up this picture, and now I'm going to make an adjustment to the picture. So the adjustment layers are all up here, and there's all sorts of different kinds, and you can experiment with more of those later. But for the moment we're just going to have a look at color balance. So what I can do is I can use these sliders to make the picture more red or more blue. This is a really important one because the more blue it is, the colder it looks. The more red it is, the more warmer it looks. But I can also add green to the picture, or magenta, and the same here. Again, it's looking slightly colder and slightly warmer but brighter. So you can also apply this just to particular areas, like for example the highlights. So now it makes the parts of the picture that are brighter look redder, and I could apply a different thing to the shadows. When you add an adjustment layer, it also automatically adds a layer mask. So here is my layer mask, and just as before with layer masks, I can select my paintbrush and I can set it up so I've got a paintbrush here, and I can paint through that layer mask. So in order to see this, I'm going to put an extreme color balance on, like that. And what I can now do is I can make sure it only applies to certain parts of the image, just like that. So what I might want to do, for example, is I might want to apply it all to my head to make me look kind of orangish, but then it's changed the shirt as well. Maybe I don't want that, so I'm just going to use this to take the adjustment layer off the shirt. There we are, and there we are. We can see I'm looking rather hot under the collar. There's other kinds of layers as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these color balance layers, and one of the most useful is this hue saturation layer. And what this lets you do is it lets you change the colors in the image. So for example, I can change it so that it looks really red, like that. And again, maybe I don't want the whole of the image to look like that, so I'm on my layer mask over here. So then maybe I can just paint out the area around my head like this. There we are. And get all of the shirt back in nice colours as well. And all of a sudden, if I just get this last little bit, I seem to be wearing a pair of red tinted sunglasses. Obviously you can neaten that up a bit by zooming in and altering the colour balance there. So that's how to use adjustment layers. You can add adjustment layer on top of adjustment layer, So for example, I can use the brightness contrast on this to up the brightness of the whole image and change the contrast like that, and you can get some pretty bizarre effects. When you're using this for your image, I try and keep the effects subtle, but they'll still be there. So have a go, see what you can do, and see what effects you can make that enhance your image. Don't just do it for the sake of it, but you've got to make sure that you enhance it.